Hello, and welcome back. As you guys can tell, I am in a very good mood. I am inside my window of tolerance, as they would say in therapy. So I thought, since I am in a good mood, I'd kind of go over some things that help me as far as like different coping and grounding skills. A lot of times when dealing with PTSD, of course, one huge factor is dissociation. We tend to kind of push people away, or we'll just lock ourselves in our homes or in our rooms and turn our phones off and just shut everything off, which sometimes we need that little reset, that little break from life, but it's not always good, in a sense that I know for me personally, one day is okay to kind of recharge, but if it lasts longer than that, like a couple days, a couple weeks, I find myself getting more and more into a depressive state. And so I try to do things to kind of break myself out of that. For a long time I didn't. I would give in, and the crying spells, the anxiety attacks, the self-harm, it would just happen more and more and more. And, people look at it like, oh, it's all in your head, and you're right. It is all in our heads. We have a chemical imbalance in our brains, and we are trying to do something about it, because no mother or father should bury their child. No brother or sister should lose their sibling. No little boy or little girl should lose their mommy or daddy. And so depression, PTSD, anxiety, bipolar disorder too, it is very real, extremely real, and it is life-threatening. So I actually was reading an article today that was talking about learning to be present. So learning to be present in times of dissociation is basically trying to help yourself learn and grow, and kind of using those grounding and containment skills to make you, not to make you, but I guess to alright, I lost my train of thought there. Let's rewind. One thing that has been hugely, extremely helpful for me personally is cold, freezing showers and baths. And if you don't do cold baths or cold showers, that's fine. Get something cold, put it on the back of your neck, get a cold rag, put it over your face to kind of cool you down. The reason why I use cold showers and baths is because it kind of shocks my body to be present, right? It brings you back into the moment, and it definitely, that's my go-to. It doesn't work for everybody, and that's fine. There are so many other ways to learn to be present. I would most definitely recommend therapy. I feel like everybody should be in therapy. I don't know why there is still such a huge stigma around it. I really don't. I don't think I will ever understand it. But therapy has literally been a lifesaver for me. And a lot of people don't know that about me, but I mean, there have been many days where I'm just like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to feel this hurt and this pain anymore. Like, you know, you just get like that ball in your throat and that sharp pain, like right in your chest, like right in your heart, and you struggle to breathe, and it just hurts, but it's like an emotional pain. And for me, it was always worse than physical pain, and that's why I would cut myself. And you know, it's not something that I share with everybody, so I'm making myself very vulnerable for internet trolls. But it's real life. Like, this happens, and it's not just me. And you'd be surprised who does it. Like, people don't take the time to, you know, text your mom, your friend, you know, your sister or your brother. Like, just text them and say, hey, how are you doing? Like, if they pop into your head, even for just like a quick second, then just text them and say, I just wanted you to know that I was thinking about you and I love you. I've told this story to a lot of my friends, and I've told it to my therapist and my psychiatrist. But my mother literally saved my life one day, because after experiencing my trauma, I was in a very, very dark place, a very cold and lonely place, and I had no one to turn to, and it was like the worst feeling in the world. And it must have been, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I decided to go for a walk, and I found myself walking to a bridge. And right before I got there, I sent my mom a text telling her that I just wanted her to know that I loved her. And like I said, it was like maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't expecting her to be awake. As soon as I got to that bridge and my hands were on that rail, my phone vibrated. And I looked down at my phone, and it was a text from my mom telling me that she loves me and she doesn't know what she would do without me. And I just remember I was just there. I just stood there crying on the side of the road, on the bridge, just crying. Like, I can't do this to my mom, right? And one thing that a lot of us tend to do, because I know that I did it for a long time, is I was ashamed that I allowed myself to get to that point, but I didn't give myself credit for stopping myself from reading that message from my mom and having the strength to stop myself and tell myself that I cannot do this to my family, that I could not let my mother lose her only daughter. And it is so hard. It is very hard to do that, to have self-compassion and to give yourself that credit that you so very much deserve. But you have to stop with all the negative self-talk and give yourself that credit for waking up every day, for getting up out of bed on the days that you don't feel like it, or even just for opening your eyes and telling yourself, hey, my body needs to rest. I need to stay in bed today, but I'm still here. Like, give yourself credit for that. And on that note, I don't want to keep rambling on, but I just do want to say, please learn to have more self-compassion for yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is a struggle that we face every single day, and we will get better. Call your doctor, get a referral for a therapist or a psychiatrist. Make sure you are properly diagnosed. Do not self-medicate. And don't be hard on yourself. Be proud that you are still here and you are still pushing. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment and ask your questions. I think that's what I'll do in my next video. If you guys have any questions for me, I am an open book. You can literally ask me any question in the world you want to, and I will answer 100% truthfully. Okay, so I just want you all to know that I love you and keep fighting the good fight.